Hello, everyone. Welcome to Scribble Me Silly Art for Kids. My name is Joanna. My pronouns are she and her, and I'm really happy to be here with an art project for you to share with us today. Now, we are going to go through this art project step by step with you. So there's no panic, there's no hurry, there's no rush to get it finished. If ever at any point you feel like you didn't catch up, you didn't catch on, you'll be able to rewind the video and come back to it again later. Things that you're going to need for today's art project with Scribble Me Silly are, you are going to need some blank pieces of paper, okay? You just really need one big piece of paper. I've chosen this black one, and it's a little bit thicker than my other papers because I want it to be my background. It's going to hold the entire project. And then we're going to use some crayons, something to write with. You're going to need some scissors as well. The scissors are going to be cutting the paper, so they should be paper scissors. We're going to need a little bit of glue. While you're gathering things, please gather a circle of some sort. It could be, this is a toilet paper roll, or if you want, you could use a glass, just something that you're going to trace. You're going to trace around the circle. So everyone, those are the things that we're going to need. Oh, and then some patterned paper. I've got some different scraps. All of my paper is scrap paper that I'm using today for the project. The little things that I've used for other projects and that I've found around the house. You could use stickers. You could also use magazines, or I've got some flyers that I think I'm going to cut some shapes out of as well. So there's a lot of different options of the things that you can use to make this happen. Look around your house and see what kinds of materials you can find, and we'll get creative and we'll throw them all into the project together. Now, while you are gathering your items for our very first Scribble Me Silly virtual project, I am going to call on our special guest artist today, Tara Dorey. I'm going to get Tara to join the call. Hello, Tara.
Hi.
Hi,
everyone.
welcome. Hello, welcome to Scribble Me Silly.
Thank you.
It's so nice to see you today.
Nice to see you too. Nice to be back, at least online.
Absolutely, back making art, creating, and I know you've been very busy lately creating. Now, Tara, everyone, is an artist, and Tara specializes in big art, really big art. In fact, Tara has created something for us to share today. Let me see if I can share my screen with everyone, and we'll just talk a little bit about Tara and find out about your art.
Yeah, I might have met some of you before because I have led some workshops with Scribble Me Silly. We got creative about how we could work together, creating a mural to go up in one of the centers. And what I always like to do is make art that everybody can be part of, that doesn't matter how skilled you are, or if you're doing all the detail work, or if you have the lines perfect. I love murals and just art in general that just has a lot of fun with color and shapes and putting them all together, because we all have, that sense of what looks good and what's fun to put together. So at a previous workshop, we painted these fun cardboard shapes. We chose a color scheme, and in the end, we put all the shapes together and we added them on the wall. So we made our own mural together. So that's one thing we've done before. I'm excited to do another visual art kind of shape and color activity tonight. For today, we're doing something that's a lot more manageable that you can do at home. This is an example of it mostly done, a picture of it almost fully done. I think Joanna has shared already the materials that should be collected.
I did, yeah.
You did? So you'll see in this photo, you can see there's lots of pages I've ripped out of colors and textures that just stood out to me when I was flipping through some magazines. And you can also see I've started cutting out, I have some extra circles that are just potential flavors to play around with or do future ice cream cones with. So there's an example.
I like that, thinking about it not just as circles, but you're thinking about the flavors that are going on top of your ice cream cone when you're choosing.
Yes.
I dig it.
That might be a fun way as we start flipping through our magazines and looking at colors and textures that what they might be if they were an ice cream flavor.
Let's get started. Tara, what is the first thing that we are going to need to start? The very sort of foundation, I guess, of our project.
Okay, so the first thing everyone should be doing is taking out some pages that have some colors and texture that you like. So I've been pulling some ones that just have some fun colors. Maybe you can find some textures that look like sprinkles. This was in, I think, a fashion photo shoot that had all this glitter that I thought looked like it could be sprinkles. Maybe it's just some bright colors, because ice cream is usually some fun, bright colors. But if you can go through your magazines and make sure you have at least 3, we'll start with 3. Once you have 3 of these different colors or textures that you could imagine being ice cream flavors,
okay,
you want to take whatever you have to trace a circle. So I've got a little cup. People might have also a toilet paper roll, or a paper towel roll is a good, yeah, you've got that. And really, if you're desperate and you forgot this, even the bottom of your glue stick could be.
Okay. I suppose thinking about ice cream too, if you're really struggling to find a circle, you could freehand it, because a scoop of ice cream is never,
That's true.
A perfect circle.
Art should definitely be imperfect and sloppy and just fun. So if you are going to just draw your own circles, then that's totally fine too. Put your object, if you are tracing, put your object down on whatever pattern or color you want to trace, and you will trace around it. I see Joanna's doing that. So you'll see a circle on the page, and then you'll need to grab your scissors and, as carefully as you can, cut around that circle shape.
So if you're new to scissors, a little trick to remember is keep your thumb up to the sky and always cut away from yourself.
Yeah, you can definitely take your time.
Okay, I thought this paper looked a little sprinkly.
Ooh, that's a good ice cream. So I have this one that's kind of purpley with some sparkles, and then I previously cut out, this was kind of an abstract, different colors, and I thought it might look like cotton candy or a bubblegum flavor with all the pinks and the blues.
It looks
so
like
I have a couple.
It looks like one of those ice creams that like has all the flavors swirled into it.
Yes, yes. So definitely, if you're finding that you can't find just one solid color, even if you have to cut around an area that has lots of colors in it, that just means it's a really interesting ice cream flavor. If you can cut 3 of those circles.
I'm gonna get these oranges.
Yes, that's a good tip too. If you have a magazine or a flyer that has food, you could definitely cut things out that clearly would look like ice cream flavors, like oranges. You could even get silly, and maybe there's like a hamburger and you could cut it out and make a hamburger ice cream flavor. You can get really, really, really fun with what you can discover in the magazines or flyers that you are looking through.
Okay, so we've got our circles cut out. What
does everyone have their 3 circles?
I've got a couple to choose from. I've got 3.
At least 3, yeah. If you cut more, then you've just got more options to play around with.
Okay, so choose 3 circles. I'm ready.
Okay, so now you're going to play around with where the circles fit on your page. So maybe play around with which one you want to be on the top, which one you think works best on the bottom. And you're going to layer them so that let me just double check my example. I have my example here. Whatever ice cream flavor circle is on the bottom, it gets overlapped by the one on top of it, and that one gets overlapped with the one on top of it. So you're gonna wanna lay them down like that. So the bottom one first, and then on top of that, the middle one, and then on top of that, the top one.
So I've got 3, and my bottom one is bottom, middle, top, and they all overlap. This one's sprinkled on top.
So if you have more cut out and you have 4, you could make an ice cream cone with 4 ice cream scoops.
And we've got them arranged. What is the next step?
So now that you know which one's going to be on the bottom, you are going to look for another pattern that would be the cone.
I have one.
And that will go on top. So you've picked out,
I've been
so
saving
ideally, that one's a good one because if you can, look for a pattern that maybe looks like, you know, cones usually have the lines coming down them or a cross, or this one has a few lines going in different directions. If you can find a piece of texture that looks a little bit like a cone, then that's great. If you can't, really, there's no rules. Whatever color you think would be a fun ice cream cone color, get that piece of paper ready.
Okay.
So once you have that, you're just gonna wanna put it right on top of this lower ice cream.
Okay.
And make sure that you draw a line so that the cone is about the same size as the lower ice cream piece. Maybe a little bit bigger, because usually the cone is a tiny bit bigger than the ice cream that's inside of it.
Tiny bit bigger. Okay. Okay.
And then you're gonna wanna draw, and we can freehand this, one of these long triangles.
Okay.
Perfect. So then you can connect it down by 2 long lines, making a nice long triangle. So yes, you're cutting down to get this shape that would go as the cone to your ice creams. Now, I think we're ready. We can start gluing down these main bits. So glue your lowest ice cream first,
Okay.
So you can glue that one down.
A little bit of glue on the back. And I'm gonna glue it just there. Okay, so it goes, the cone goes over the bottom one.
And then the cone can be glued, just like have it overlap that lower one a little bit. So this way it makes it look like the ice cream really is inside of it when it's just behind the cone shape.
There, I've got a 1 scoop pattern.
You've got a 1 scoop. You've got a kitty cone.
Yes, excellent.
Then you can add on your 2nd scoop that will overlap that first one. So again, you want to make sure that you don't want to put the ice cream so that it's looking like it's just standing on top.
Okay.
But if you overlap them, that's where it really looks like the 1 scoop is really on top of the other scoop. So you can let this 2nd one overlap a little bit.
Okay, so my 2nd one is overlapping a little bit.
Perfect. You've got your top scoop finished off.
Yeah.
And then this is the bonus part. This is where people can get really creative if you've still got some more of these colors. So for example, if you have more of this color of your first ice cream scoop, you can cut out some drip shapes and make it look really realistic, like the ice cream is dripping down.
Oh, that is.
So if you've got extra of this pattern that I see you do, you can cut out a little bit and make a drip. One other add-on that you could do is if you have another color that you could imagine some fun sprinkles. So I found this nice yellow color, and I can add some more sprinkles to whatever ice cream scoop you want. This is where you can start to get creative, more creative. One other example of what you could add is some of these ice cream sundaes have a cherry on top or a fruit on top. So I just found a piece of the paper that was red, or maybe you could find one that's pink or whatever color of a fruit that you would like, and cut out your own little circle shape, add a stem, and it looks like you've got a cherry on top of your ice cream cone.
Okay, you know,
so there's lots of little add-ons you can do to get creative and make these your ideal ice cream. Anything that you can do at a small size, once you've figured out the design and what you want it to look like, you can do it at a big size too. It's really about, like, just as simple as we showed today, having some very simple shapes, choosing some fun colors that go together, and, you know, playing around with where they fit. That's really how artists design. They're just playing with colors and shapes. And collage is a really fun way to show that. A lot of artists work, they're sketching, or they're doing it on a computer, they're playing around with the design, but this is a really quick way to show how colors and shapes might come together and play around with them.
Well, I'm really happy with my, it looks really delicious.
It looks really good.
Thanks. I've had so much fun. Thank you for guiding me through this. I hope that everyone watching has been able to follow through step by step. If not, you're going to be able to rewind it later and check back in with those steps. But we just started with some colored paper and our circle tracing and a little bit of imagination, thinking about these papers in new ways. And how can they become ice cream?
Really, the background is up to you. If your ice cream, you know, reminds you of something, or you want to add something to the background, that space is up to you too, to give it some more personality, some more fun.
So do whatever you want. Whatever your inspiration is, follow it and add it into the background.
Now, I am so curious to see what other people's ice creams look like.
Me too. What flavors did everyone come up with?
I want to know the flavors, the colors you decided to use.
Absolutely. If you want to share, if anyone wants to share, I mean, their ice cream. I know it's hard to share ice cream. If anyone wants to share their ice cream with us at Scribble Me Silly or with Tara, you can get your grown-ups to help you, and you can post it to Instagram. So we'll share our ice creams on Instagram. Share your flavors, hashtag Get Silly, and hopefully we can see all of these new flavors that everyone has come up with.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're so welcome. Everyone, thank you for joining us for a little bit of art this evening, and we hope to see you again. We're going to have a new project, and you'll be able to join in and follow along while we do that project too. So thank you so much. Special thanks to Tara and everybody out there following along doing art with us. Can't wait to see what you create. Bye everyone.
Bye.